Okay, so this is 2.4 part 1.
He's not going to coach cross country.
2.4 part 1. And today is 2 to the 4th.
He said he's going to make the golf kids run. He's going to follow them on his bike.
He won't follow on a bike, he'll follow on a golf cart.
Yeah, he was telling me about that.
Okay, so application questions. So basically, the word problems involve right triangles, right? And so kind of the basic steps you want to go through. Remember, we include these, not that you should follow them every time, but if you get stuck, these are things that often will help. So if you know exactly what to do, then do that and solve the question. But remember some basic steps. First and foremost, you want to try to draw a diagram from the description. And sometimes that's the hardest thing to do, is to get a diagram in that matches the description. Some of the questions will have a diagram. That certainly does help. You want to draw a diagram. From the description. If possible, of course, you need to identify the right angle, because all of these will involve right angles and right triangles. Okay, so, and since these are application questions, I want you to always give the approximate answer. So, on the last quiz, I wanted exact answers, like leave the radicals. This time, you're going to approximate everything, no radicals. So, give approximate answers. So, do not leave the radicals. So, everything will have decimal answers on it. There are a couple of terms that come up in these questions that you should understand the definitions of. The first one is, they like to use what's called the angle of elevation. And that implies that you go from the horizontal up. So an example, if I had a question that said the angle of elevation of the sun is 18 degrees, if I was going to draw that out, that means I'd start at the horizontal and we'd go up to 18 degrees. And here's the sun. Not a very good sun. But. So angle of elevation is from the horizontal up. The kind of the opposite of that is called the angle of depression. What?
It doesn't look like a sun.
Why?
What is it?
I don't know. It's just a blob.
Okay, so label it the sun, so we know it's the sun. Okay, the opposite is angle of depression. And of course, angle of depression would mean that this time I go from the horizontal down. And so this time, angle of depression would be down like this. So, I mean, whatever angle this is 18 degrees. That's your angle of depression. Thank you.
Oh, that's terrible.
So my first one, it says if a 73.0 foot flagpole cast a shadow. .50 long. What is the angle of elevation of the sun?
Is it 51.0?
Yes. Okay, so what's kind of the first step on this? Draw a diagram. So we know that we have a flagpole. Let's see, so here's the concrete base. Of course we have this flag.
I think it's the Spanish flag.
No, it's the USA. It's not even made in the
Now, that means then that we have a shadow, right? So we have the sun out here someplace. I'll try to draw a sun that works for Emily. And you can see my sun is yellow.
Oh,
Wait, is it very accurate to draw the lines coming off the sun?
Not.
But
this
the
is
lines are just invisible in real life.
Yeah, I mean this is anyway. So we've got. So when the sun shines, of course, the flagpole blocks the rays of the sun, right? Which means we get a shadow here. So this would be the shadow of the flagpole. Yeah. All right. Now, what else do we know here? We know that the flagpole is how tall?
73.
So from here to here is 73.0 feet. We also know that we have the shadow is 51.0 feet long. From here to here. What do I want to find?
You want to find an angle on the bottom left.
This angle here, right? Call that theta. I want to find that angle. Because that's the angle of elevation, right? From the horizontal up. Horizontal up, what's the angle of elevation? So, what trig function would I use? Because we have, here's my right angle right here, right? So right angle, we have from the angle, the opposite, the adjacent, that'd be tangent. Tangent of theta is the opposite or the adjacent. Well, feet would cancel out. And how do I find what theta is? Inverse tangent of that ratio, right? Of the 73.0 divided by the 51.0. So, inverse tangent of 73 divided by 51 is 55. So, let's see, probably if we go, this had 3 places, we'd have 2 on the angles. So 55 degrees. Okay, on this one we have a person standing 150 centimeters from a mirror. Notices that the angle of depression from his eye to the bottom of the mirror is 12 degrees. He just does.
She's like, oh.
Obviously, this person is very good at determining angles because he did that without a protractor. Just notice that it's 12 degrees. He also notices and the angle of elevation is 11 degrees. The question is, find the vertical dimensions of the mirror.
The angle of elevation at the top of the mirror.
Mm-hmm.
So we have two triangles.
Mm-hmm. I want the vertical dimensions of the mirror. Alright, so of course, again, probably the most important part of this is to do what? Draw a diagram. So we've got this mirror. And we got this person looking in the mirror with their eye.
Just one eye?
Yes, Lucha has one eye.
Now, they know then that they're standing, his eye is how far from the mirror?
The eye kind of looks like your son.
How far from the mirror?
100 centimeters.
This is 150 centimeters. Now, we notice the angle of depression to the bottom of the mirror, right? To the very bottom is this angle of depression is 12 degrees. And the angle of elevation is 11 degrees. And what does I want to find about this?
The height of the mirror.
Yeah, really this vertical, I want to find this distance, right? I want this vertical dimensions.
Opposite of all of
Well, what happens, of course, I've got two right triangles, right? Now, can I find this side of the triangle? Well, what I did and what you can do is I can just put this. I call this X and this Y. So, if I want to find X, what would I use? I'd use tangent, right? Because this is the opposite and this is the adjacent. So, the tangent of 11 degrees is X over 150 centimeters. So, how do I solve that for X? So, multiply by 150, so X is 150 centimeters times the tangent of 11. Which equals 29. We'll call this 29 centimeters. If I want to find Y, what do I use this time? Tangent 12 is Y over 150. So Y is 150, tangent 12. So that is how much?
I'm going to guess like 31.
Around, 31.8, so rounds to 32. Answer would be what?
32 plus 29 or something.
So it's going to be 29 plus 32 is 61. So 61 centimeters. So in all these types of questions, it's just a matter of trying to get them drawn out and finding the right triangles and find the pieces you want. The assignment on page 87 through 88, 2 through 12, so only 6 questions.